Welcome, welcome, welcome to Community Roundtable. They call me Ferdinand, the bringer of balance, leader of many disciplines, and one of the hosts of Community Roundtable. And I'm here with that stepper in the streets, that queen mother in the streets, Miss Uganda.
Hey, y'all. It's Friday. The weekend is almost here. Thank you so much for that. I am Uganda Sample Jones, your favorite community auntie, your community connector. Let's start. We have some great guests talking. Joining us tonight, joining us this evening with some wonderful information. First, we're going to talk to Miss Shantae Miller-White with Parents Against Bullying. And then we have some great information coming to you from Miss Letitia Holloman. She is our second in charge, our chief of operations, but she is a phenomenal parent, and she actually runs our waiver program. So when we help families connect with different resources, walk you through applications, Miss Letitia is our guru. So we'll be getting some great information. Get your notebooks out. I'm ready for this evening.
All right, so we have a special guest, right?
Yes, so Miss Shantae Miller with Parents Against Bullying is joining us. She has a wonderful program, but I know Shantae as a person, as like a community partner. She's just a wonderful human being. She has such a powerful story, and the fact that she has been in these streets for a while, going school to school. I remember she brought the young lady from SWV down to encourage young people that bullying is not the way. Having that difficult conversation sometimes, and just being able to encourage our young people to keep the fight, stop bullying in our schools, because we know that bullying can definitely lead to trouble situations. And that's how I met Miss Miller, when a young lady, unfortunately, from one of our high schools had committed suicide. And I realized that this is a topic that's not always talked about, especially in a public forum. We'll talk, parents, children will come home. I know my kids will come home and say this happened, but I was the type of parent that would go right to the school. But a lot of children hold that information. They hold and don't know how to act on being bullied. So she goes right into the schools and has those conversations with our children, teaching them how to share their feelings, teaching them how to mediate. And that is not the way. So can we bring Miss Shantae on?
Hey, how you doing, Miss White?
Hello. I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having me this evening.
Awesome. So I know I couldn't do you justice, because the work that you do is so impactful, especially in our school system with our young people. Can you talk to us about your program and the wonderful things you have going on?
Absolutely. Parents Against Bullying is a nonprofit organization. Started it back in 2013 after a horrific incident with one of my twin girls in 2012 on a school bus, where she was kicked in the head for a total of 17 minutes on the school bus. And, back then, if you think back, we really didn't talk about bullying. And now, we hear more about it, but I did not want another family to go left alone, or even another child to go left alone, knowing that they could not speak up and speak out about bullying. So that's just a snippet of the reason behind it. But from there, our mission is to take the proactive approach, even though it's something reactive from that happened with my family, but the proactive approach to anti-bullying education to our youth and families, and even to our little ones. And our objective is to make sure that we educate them on it and teach them how to speak up for themselves, or speak up and speak out in the incident that there is bullying or violence going on, because, that goes hand in hand. And I know we'll get into that, hand in hand with gang violence, domestic violence. So any of those things, just to name a few, we want to make sure that we are there working to let them know it's okay to speak up and speak out. And we do that through our mentoring groups that we have with our Girl Talk and Gent Talk. We do it with our parents, with our workshops. We also do it with our children now. During the pandemic, we started a program for our little ones, because it's never too early to start having the conversation. So we have our puppet program for that. So that's just a snippet about Parents Against Bullying.
I love that. I always admire the fact that you work with younger children, like elementary school children, and you get them to talk and express themselves. Can you talk a little bit about how you found uh, the ability to be able to get our little children who may not be able to articulate their feelings? How do you do that?
I think what you said, because it was going in and out. I think what you said was, if I heard you correctly, how do I help them to express their feelings? One of the things that I try to do, and I make sure that I do, is be consistent. Being consistent with showing up to build a relationship, to make sure that they know it's a safe space, that they know that it's safe to talk with me or my team about any and everything that deals with that. And by doing that, you have to show up consistently. You have to continue to, what that means, in the school while they're having lunch, at a football game if they're playing football or cheering, or at a musical, that they're in the band, wherever they are, or even if they're neighborhoods, because they'll say in a minute, they call me Miss Shawnee. They'll say, Miss Shawnee will show up anywhere. Yep, you never know where I'm going to show up at. So building a relationship is the first first move of action that we do to make sure that they know it's okay and it's safe for us to be able to talk and have that uncomfortable conversation when it comes down to these topics.
I love that. Fernand, I know I'm asking a lot of questions. Do you have any questions?
No, no, I'm just really appreciating that we have these organizations out there. Like, I'm interested in being a part of these movements. So I'm very thankful to Miss White for having Parents Against Bullying.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And we're definitely eager to have you to come on over and help us. We always need our men to come in and step in and, be that strong backbone, because I believe that, we're trying to build the village again, because our village is broken. And I'm just being transparent. We need all of us to stand together, and they need to see all of our faces, as many faces as they can see that look like them, that walk like them, that talk like them, and letting them know that we're building that relationship, to let them know that we're here for them, with them, beside them, in front of them, or wherever it is that we need to play our role.
I love that. I absolutely love the fact that you understand and recognize the fact that it takes all of us, and the love and the genuine love that you bring just in the community itself is definitely appreciated. I know when I see you, it might not, we were in Hampton, I saw you, and it was just like a sisterly love. And I just really appreciate that as a community partner, because you understand that it takes a village and you're working to build that village. I know you have some great programs that are going on this summer and they're free. Can you talk
Absolutely.
a little bit about that? I think we have a flyer as well.
Absolutely. All of our programs are free, but this particular one this summer, we're excited about, and we're actually having our last one for this particular Starbright Kids and Friends. That's what our puppet program is called, and that's tomorrow, actually, at Down and Gross Cultural Arts Center. And if you notice, on the 29th of June, we had a sign language interpreter, so we try to make sure that we're covering all bases. So tomorrow from 11 to 1, we'll be at Down and Gross Cultural Arts, and bring the babies out. Everybody of all ages love our puppets, especially Granny and friends. So if you just bring them out, it's free. We interact with them. We color with them. We're reading to them. We're having songs with them. We're able to have those uncomfortable conversations that they understand in their language. So please bring them out. We'll have goodies and things for them. And like she said, it's free. So please bring them out from 11 to 1 tomorrow at Down and Gross Cultural Arts Center, right on Wickham Avenue.
Awesome. Awesome. And for those that are listening and will watch this in the future, can you please share how we can get engaged with your program? If we have people that want to come and help you read to the children or just mentor, how can they connect with you?
Absolutely. And let me also say, because I know there's another flyer for our older kids from the ages of 12 to 15. We have those on Wednesdays. We'll have 2 more Wednesdays left. That we have our Girl Talk and Gent Talk, and those are the mentoring groups that we have for the youth. And that's also at Down and Gross from 11 to 1 on Wednesdays, for the next 2 Wednesdays. But they can reach us. They can go to our website. We just were acknowledged as being a national organization. So we're now it's PABkids with a Z.org. That's PABKids, KIDZ. .org. That's our website, and you can find out all of our information. You can fill out a volunteer, go through our volunteer steps with that. Or if you just want to send us a message, if you want to ask some questions, or just know about all of the upcoming things and our programs that we have ongoing. That's 365 days a year. We never stop. So all of our information is on that. Also, you can email us at p.a.b.virginia@gmail.com. That'll be changing soon, but for right now, it'll still go to the new one. But you can email us, and you can also tap the button that's on our website that I gave, and it'll take you directly to our email. And the phone number is there as well, 757-329-2859. So any of those ways, please reach out to us. Follow us on Instagram. That's p.a.b Virginia. And on Facebook is Parents Against Bullying VA. So any of those ways, please stay connected and reach out to us.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you.
Yeah, we'll make sure that we get the other flyer out with this as well. But thank you so much for all you do. You're really making a difference. And we are so grateful that you are doing that work.
Thank you guys so much for all that you do and letting us have a platform to be able to tell about the things that we're doing, and people don't know about it in case they need us. So thank you so much for having me this evening.
You're welcome.
Have a great weekend. Stay dry.
You do the same. Have a good one. All right. Bye-bye.
That was some amazing information. I love that there's organizations out here like Parents Against Bullying. Because bullying has been a problem for as long as I've known, and probably long before that. And these are the kind of things that need to be eliminated out of everywhere, but especially out of the schools. Our children need to be able to go to school and learn. Like that's the purpose, you know. But hey, we got say it again.
I was saying she creates a safe space for that, so it's beautiful.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you to everyone out there who is listening, who's watching. Please continue to comment, to share, to love. Please continue to do that. And we got another guest, a very special guest.
Yes, I am very excited, equally excited about Miss Letitia, but mostly because she is one of our family members, Empower All family members. She is our chief our chief officer of operations, and she is phenomenal. She's a mother of 5, and she knows her stuff. When I tell you she is a researcher, she does not let anything get past her. I have seen her change policy just by speaking up and doing her research in a matter that is credible, but also is needed. Our voice changes legislation, and she has done that in so many ways. And she teaches others how to do that. So let's bring Miss Letitia on. Miss Letitia Holloman.
How you doing?
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Yourself?
Look, and she just has such a welcoming smile. I just love working with Letitia. She's amazing. So I told him a little bit, but of course I couldn't do him justice. This is my co-host Ferdinand. I don't think y'all met.
No, this is our first time. It's my pleasure.
Yeah. Pleasure to meet you as well.
Awesome. So I'll try to set you up for, you're a researcher. You do not let anybody play. You read the contracts.
Yes.
And you keep us in order. So talking a little bit about just your passion, because you have such a you're just such a beautiful spirit.
Oh, thank you. So my passion began because I have a child that is special needs, and I realized how difficult it was to navigate the system to make sure that my child got everything she needed to be able to excel in this world. But it was very difficult. It was times because, I'm sorry, I guys probably got some background noise. It was times that with my child, I wasn't able to work because she needed a certain level of care in order to go to daycare, and most daycares didn't have like a doctor level or nursing level of care. So that left me to have to sit at home, have to depend on resources from, city and state resources. And it really kind of like just was a big economic barrier for my family. And so what I had to do is just like research a lot of stuff to figure out how can I still be able to provide the support to my daughter, but also to make sure that we are economically okay. So yes, a lot of research and word of mouth. That was the biggest thing. And that's what helped me out, was a word of mouth. It was a friend that told me about these Medicaid waivers. And the moment that I heard it, I didn't want anybody else to have to be in a situation that I was, where you had to choose between providing care to your child that needs nursing level care or go to work. And I know that is a similar situation that a lot of parents, goes through. So I wish that I had learned about these waivers way before, but they would have made my life so much simpler. So it just made me have a passion that I want to be able to get it out to other parents and help them navigate and be able to provide all the love and support they want for their child that needs it.
I love that. I love your determination. How old was your daughter when before you found out by word of mouth?
My daughter was 20 years old.
Are
20
you
years old.
So you went 20 years before you were even introduced to a waiver program that could have helped you be at home, especially during her nurturing years. No case, I mean, and not speaking badly, I know I love my case managers because their workload is huge. But
Right.
no one in your travels of 20 years introduced you to the concept of getting a waiver to be able to help you stay at home.
Nope. And that
Wow.
was like the most disheartening thing that I had discovered. Like, to find out that there was resources out there that my child and qualified for, and going through the school systems and the doctors and social service, all the different types of places that that's supposed to help. They're not saying that they didn't, but it never was a conversation that ever came up.
So, how, in your experience, how difficult is it to get the waiver? What do parents have to prepare themselves for when trying to access this funding?
um it's really not that difficult. But I will say that a lot of people, a lot of parents like me, it's very hard to be transparent, because you don't want your child to be seen in a negative light, and we don't want ourselves to be seen in a negative light. But I would just say, um, just be transparent. If your child is not able to do certain things, do not be ashamed of it. Do not, a lot of people just, I don't know. For me, it's that concept of like, if nobody asks me, or I'm not going to ask. I don't want to ask because I don't want to look like, oh, you had a child and, you're trying to live off of something. And I think that's what was the hindrance in my way too. I could have maybe kept asking and maybe talked to more other parents that had special needs children, but I didn't. It wasn't until later on that I talked to other people that I started getting the information to resources that I need.
Wow, wow. We do have a question, Miss White. Hey, Miss White, thank you for tuning in. She asks, "Is this available for parents that have with children with autism?"
Um, Yes, it is available for the main question that is asked when it's concerning a Medicaid waiver is that if the child requires nursing level care, meaning that they need someone to be there, like they're not capable of doing certain things on their own without support. So if your child, if that is what your child that may, or what that person that has autism, if they require nursing level care, then yes, you should apply for the waivers.
Great information. Thank you so much. So, one thing I remember attending a meeting, and a major concern of parents were daycares that do not have that level of care that can tend to their child with disabilities, whether it's physical or mental disabilities. Does this waiver help with finding daycare if the family chooses to work instead of um, get paid for the wait with the waiver?
Right. And exactly. That, like you said, that excluded so many parents out that have children that needs that nursing level care, because the daycares will not accept them. I went through that myself, where the daycare was like, oh no, she has too much medical needs. We cannot, we cannot legally accept her. And so I'm sorry, I lost training of, I was thinking about, look, I had a flashback a little bit. What was the additional part of the question?
No, just asking. Look, those flashbacks will give you like, no, they didn't try to play me. And that's one thing that I love about you is when you hear some information that's not right, you're going to read the contract. You're going to look at it and go into the law and see what is actually the responsibility of all parties, and how do you know what outcomes to expect. And that's one thing that I really appreciate about working with you. Anything else do you think families need to be able to go about this journey to get a waiver?
I wanted to put it, like, I think a very good website is to go on, is dmas.virginia.gov, and that's dmas.virginia.gov. It has all the information to all the different types of waivers, because there's more than one type of waiver. The most common one is the CC plus waiver, because that is not just specific to one type of disability. It's not specific to one type of disability, unlike the DD waivers, which is more based on developmental disability. CC plus waiver is more leans toward medical type disabilities. I already spent my $20, but I'll get on to. Okay.
That's okay. We know that you a mother. I already told them you're a mother of 5 girls. So I
Right.
know we completely understand you amongst family. You're
Thank you. Yeah, always something going on in this household.
exactly. So
But
I do want you to talk to the people a little bit about what you do with Empower All. And I know I'm a little bit biased, but I just love working with you, and the work that we do around housing and connecting people with housing, because a lot of people, they're just like, oh, that's Uganda, and they don't understand that the work that we do is a team of people who make it happen. It's not just, I'm just the front person, but Letitia's my brain outside of my body. So can you talk a little bit about our housing work?
yes, it's something that we are very passionate about. And what we do is try to help individuals that may be displaced or may be living in substandard situations to find affordable, stable housing. We do have a lot of connections with different property managers. We also try to work, some property managers will work with us if we can try to start to get, if they had past judgments, try to start to help them reduce that debt. And some of them will work with those individuals. Um, our passion is just trying to make sure that people have stable housing, because I like to think of it this way. It's a thing called Maslow hierarchy of needs, and it always started the basic need, which is like food, water, things like that, and then it goes up to different types of needs. So if you are worried about where you're going to be able, where you and your children, or where you're going to be able to sleep at night, but you also need a better job, it's hard to work on certain things if you don't handle the most pressing need, which is stable housing. um, I can I have witnesses. We have helped so many individuals get into homes. Even if they see me on the street today, or Miss Uganda, they are so thankful, because you can just see their face light up. Their health is better. It is just so much that goes into being able to provide that to individuals. I just love I love doing it, honestly.
It does come, it comes across in your work ethic. But you're so true. How can someone be concerned about, or where they're gonna sleep if they haven't eaten, or their children haven't eaten, or maintaining rent? Is like a state of survival.
Right.
And we help people break that down and say, okay, this is what we're going to work on first, and be able to find resources to address that. So I thank you so much for your work that you do with us, Letitia. I'm forever grateful for crossing paths with you. And yeah.
Yes, I'm grateful as well. I can't wait to see the work we're about to put more into the community. I'm ready. I'm eager.
Come on. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you. I will talk to you later.
All right. Well, thanks. Thank y'all
Thank you
for
so
having
much for
me.
coming through. It's a
No
pleasure.
Yes.
problem. Have a
Pleasure.
great day.
See, her personality, she's always so bubbly and giggly. It's just beautiful to be able to work with some amazing, passionate people who
Absolutely.
genuinely care. You
Yeah, it's
know,
super important to have people with that kind of energy in the office on on an everyday basis. Humor, smiles, all that energy. It brings vibrance to the
exactly.
workplace. Hmm.
Yeah. And speaking of vibrance, I had the opportunity to tour the new space, the new Ridley site. We'll put pictures up and all those wonderful things soon. But uh, yeah, it's amazing to see downtown Newport News changing. The east end of Newport News is changing. We have new homes, and people that are returning from Ridley Circle to the new community. We were able to tour the 41, well, not all 41 apartments, but we looked at the mixed use apartment building that is coming up, and they have a community center, a gym, a lot like what is on the Lift and Rise, but it's closer to the school, so it makes more sense for families. As well as we toured some 3-bedroom handicap units that are right there across from the House of Prayer on Ivy Avenue, and they are so spacious. And it just reminds me that people, there's opportunity for everyone. If you're handicapped, if you have a family, come back to this community. We need you. We need you to keep it vibrant and to keep the culture. We talk about gentrification, but what does that really look like? We are empowered through that process to be able to own the land, to be able to get these new houses that are coming up. So get engaged in the programs and whatever you need to be able to transform and uplift your family. Hey, you finished eating.
Take these out so he can hear you.
Aw. It put you on mute.
Yeah, I took Bluetooth out.
And
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about. We're talking about family, putting the family back together. Hello, beautiful. I can't wait until my locks are just as long. So she's the track. Is she the track runner or
Sincere is a multi-sport athlete, so she runs track, and
Sincere?
and Sincere does gymnastics, and eventually Sincere may be jumping into basketball.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Multi-sports. You are amazing. You are amazing. Continue to be great because you have greatness all over you.
What do you say?
I see you in the Olympics one day.
Not right now. Not right now.
You know, people say like enjoy it now because they grow up so fast, but it's so true. Now I have like 25 and 24-year-olds and they're never around me anymore.
Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it right now. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm blessed because I was able to have a fatherly experience prior to my biological children coming into this world. You know, so I think that gave me a leg up to be able to give the younger children that experience from birth that will really help them be prepared in life.
I love it. I love it. You are the example, my friend. You are the example. And your children, are they homeschooled?
Well, so we took a break. We did start. We started Sincere and we started Huey in homeschool, and then we took a break in 2021 or 2022. Put Huey in school. We let Sincere do preschool, but this August I'm taking both of them out and I'm homeschooling them again.
But that's so beautiful. We have to have a homeschooling expert on soon because, like, even having that time out, even if they don't go to, homeschooling their whole primary years, having that foundation of learning and growing and having a safe space at home is what is really going to carry your babies through and build that foundation that they will be able to surpass and be able to problem solve and bring those critical thinking skills like in public school settings. So they are the example. Continue that. I would
Yeah,
love. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
and I really appreciate about homeschooling. I appreciate being able to teach my children what I want them to learn.
Yeah.
And that's one of the beautiful things about homeschooling. And since I've got the floor at the moment, I'll go ahead and tell everybody, listen, if you're in the state of Virginia and you want to homeschool your children, the state requires two things: a letter of a letter of intent or a notice of intent in August of prior to the school year starting, and that just lets them know that your child is not going to be in the actual physical schools, so they don't need to send the truancy officer after your child. But then the other thing that you got to turn in is after the school year is over, you have to send a letter of evaluation, right? So there's no tests that your children have to take. There's no special assignments that they have to do. When you send these two letters, the state understands that all of the schooling for your child is up to you.
It's not as difficult. Well, you're the expert that we need, right? But it's not as difficult as families think it may be. So I would love to dive deeper into that on one of our next shows. I do want everyone
Absolutely.
listening to I want everyone listening to save July 29th. We have a flyer that's about to come out, but we're going to have let's talk environmental solutions. It's going to be at Down and Gross Cultural Arts Center, Monday, July 29th. We start seating at 5:30. We're going to have an awesome lecture from Professor Johnny Finn, and we're talking about solutions around our air pollution. So please make sure you save the date, look out for the information. We have some great flyers coming out to y'all, and yeah, be engaged.
Awesome. That sounds good. You consistently out here in these streets doing your thing. Kid, I really appreciate you. Keep doing it. And everybody out there, y'all support Miss Uganda. She out here in these streets. We got to make sure everybody in these streets is getting that support. All right, we got to stand together. And that's one of the things that one of our guests let us know is this is about each of us taking our part and plugging into this, giving back. We got to keep doing that.
Shante Miller, yes. Doing our part. Make sure y'all check out the puppet shows to Saturday too at Dale and Groves.
Absolutely. Well, I think that brings us to the end of our programming. You got any closing remarks?
No, I just love all of you. We're going to continue to keep pushing forward, because greatness is written all over all of us. We just have to be bold enough to let it shine through. So have a wonderful weekend.
Absolutely. Y'all have a great weekend. Hey, and expose your gift.